What's going on, folks, and welcome to another SCUM video. I hope you're all doing well. Apologies, I haven't put up any content this week so far because it's been incredibly busy. Now, this is probably going to be one of the hardest videos I've had to make with this SCUM, just because I've had to use my main account to get most of the footage from what I can get, and at the moment single player is currently in the dark due to a bug, which is quite frustrating because that's generally where I do all my recording, in checking for the features, testing features with the new updates, etc. So stand by, guys, and let's go straight in and see what this week's update is all about. So firstly, folks, we're going to be looking at the coal mine. I'm going to throw a few images up here because I didn't manage to get there on my main character. Like I said, I couldn't get around the map quick enough because obviously it's too dark on the single player right now because of the bug that I mentioned before. So the coal mines is now in place. Now they do say on the actual patch, on the patch notes, how it's empty, but for how long for, or something like that. So whether they're going to be putting anything in there like zombies or something like that would be really cool to have some real interest in that area, because right now it's just a coal mine with nothing really to offer in terms of items. I mean, they could just place some guns down there, make it a kind of PvP area or something, or make it somewhere where you can find lots of metal or something, you know, just something you can that will help for crafting or something. But currently right now there's a lot of people complaining about the fact it's too light down there and it needs to be darker, which I have spoken to the developers about. It's something they know, and it is a concern to them because they want us to have that true immersive experience. I mean, so early on in the early access with this game so far, I mean, don't get me wrong, they have done incredibly well. There's a lot that needs fixing, there's a lot that needs to be done. We all know this, but we have to give it time. They can't get it perfect every time with the stuff that they're doing with this game. But they do know that, and they know that we are quite concerned about darker areas underground. They should be really dark. And the fact that obviously when flashlight attachments do come in or something interesting like that, then obviously we can go down there and we'll have our own light source, etc. So the coal mines are in just south of the center of D1, as you can see here in the video. It's just southwest of Prigage, in the top right hand corner of the map. So that's where you're going to find the coal mines there. Don't get me wrong, it's a great location. There's a couple of new assets, different buildings. It would be awesome if you could actually go down the actual shafts. If the shafts were actually working mechanically, that would be really, really cool to have that. So there's not really much to say about the coal mines. It's there. Go and explore, guys. It's going to be great fun. So here's something I didn't expect. They've decided to add 20 plus islands, new islands, into the game. So the western side and the southern side, if you press M when you go into the game, you'll see these islands scattered around the island, the main island. So this is pretty interesting. It's a place you can go to. Obviously you can relax there, make a fire, go cooking, or just get away from everything. You know you're most likely going to be more safe from one of these little islands. Still, you have to be careful. Problem is, right now you can't actually get to them. Some of them you can, some of them you can't. They're too far out in the water. So obviously we're kind of waiting for boats and rafts or sailing, something like that, to get us over there. Now, there isn't pretty much nothing on these islands right now, but it does say with time, interesting things will pop up on them. So I'm not really sure what that means. We're just going to have to find out. Obviously, when I know, you guys will know. That's how we roll here. So there's not much I can say on the islands, but there's 24 new islands, which is 24 new locations, which is pretty cool. So they've done a great job with the locations on this update. So let's move over to the cars quickly. So before we move on to the lockpicks, I want to quickly talk about the cars. Now, I have demoed these cars before in previous videos. Go check them out if you haven't seen them. It shows you what they can do, especially the camo one. It is really awesome. That is going to be the most sought after car. Now, as you can see, they've retextured. So a lot of these textures now look a little bit more realistic. Rather than looking like a texture, which is strange to say, they've actually made it look like a part of the car. They've really done it well. They've made it look really nice. So they've got there's a before picture here, and obviously you can see what they've done in that image there. So there's a few different variants here for all of the vehicles. They've made them look really nice, and I can't wait for them to bring out more vehicles so we have different types of vehicles, because at the moment we've just got the standard car. It doesn't matter if it's a Ranger or if it's an SUV, it's still a car. It's nice to have something different, maybe a bike or something. That is something I think most people are really going to look out for, and it's going to be easier to hide a bike as well, especially something like a bicycle, not just a moped or a motorbike or something like that. But here's an image here. I don't know really what this is, like a physics picture or something or whatever. But apparently next week they'll be talking a little bit more about the handling of vehicles in SCUM and how it works, etc. So they're reworking the whole physics system on these vehicles, and hopefully we'll get to see this in the next update possibly, because that's what they're saying here. So right, guys, we're going to move on to the lockpicks. This is a bit of a sensitive issue, so let's move on. Now, lockpicking is a very sensitive subject because people spend long times on their bases and they don't want their gear and all their loot taken in 5 minutes. They want a base that is secure and very difficult to get into. Even given that it's got locks, it should be near impossible to get in. That is what people want. Now, they're doing their best to try and make it fair because they want people to still be able to get in, but they want it to take a long time, like, to try and get into a base. That's how it should be. When you see a base and you see locks on it, you know it should take a couple of hours, maybe more, to get into it. So you have to dedicate to base raiding. It's not something that people should just go, oh, there's a house, let's just go unlock it and take all their loot. So they're reworking the way the locks are picked. Now, they have messed it up a little bit in this update. It happens, and hopefully they can fix this and re-amend this with a hot fix this week, this coming week. So basically, they reduced the angle needed to unlock a door successfully. This apparently hasn't worked so well, and now people are lockpicking quicker than ever. Hence why we need this hot fix. So they've reduced the amount of uses a screwdriver has. So now they have 40 uses per screwdriver, and hopefully, as far as I'm aware, they've lowered the percentage of screwdrivers on the map as well to sort of try and stop people hoarding screwdrivers, so they can obviously use their obviously for base raiding, etc. So they've tried to make it a little harder. Now, the normal lockpicks that you find or you can make are reduced to 4 uses on the map when you find them, and they have added an advanced lockpick with 6 uses. So obviously there's more percentage of chance that you guys can actually get in there and obviously take all the loot, etc. But this is a big fix that they need to make ASAP. Like I said, let us know in the comment below, guys, how it's been on this update so far, because they will hotfix this because it's a big issue. With all that good stuff as well. Now, I just want to go straight on to the server admin commands, because they've obviously, with certain servers, you can change, the admins can change certain features to make the game, obviously, to make the server harder or easier. So obviously some servers have 5 times loot, some have 1 times loot, harder zombies, harder Zeds. Now, harder puppets and harder mechs, rather. Now, on the server that I play on, we have the zombies right up, and obviously the mechs are up as well. So it's a bit of a hardcore server, and that is how survival should be. Obviously, survival is all about, you know, not having too much gear, not having too much ammo, and just doing everything you can to survive, everything you can do to stay alive. That's really what it's all about. So with the server admin commands, they've now added a few extra features. They can turn or turn off these the following: allow a sector respawn, shelter respawn, or allow squad mate respawn. So now the admins have control of this. So if you go into a server and you can't squad mate respawn, then obviously they've turned that off. Now, a sector respawn or a random respawn is completely fair, in my opinion. It is fair for that to happen. And this is what I think they should do. And this is where DayZ got it right in terms of a fair game and respawning. You'd always go back to the coast. You wouldn't go back into a firefight and obviously kill the same person that killed you 5 minutes ago. There's no sense of achievement there whatsoever. You're just gonna, both teams are just literally gonna run out of ammo. That is gonna happen. It's inevitable. So there's no sense of achievement of getting out without any loot or anything like that. You're just going to end up killing each other till you guys basically either make friends or just say, look, let's call it a day and just get the hell out of here. So that's all that stuff with the server admin commands and such as well. Bug fixes and other goodies as well. So they've adjusted third-person clipping, prevention for crouch stance, bug fix for players dying when climbing windows, fixed placement of fortification blueprints being placed wrong sometimes. They now have a maximum resolution scale of 200%. Small improvement for DLSS. More ini file restrictions. Now, this is incredibly important because people do tend to cheat and they change their ini files, obviously, to get an advantage against another player. Now, that isn't fair when someone's using epic graphics, and obviously when people change the inis, they're using low graphics, so everything is gone. It is a complete farce, and that is something that's been keeping a lot of players away as well. More server optimizations by reducing the count of replication objects, obviously server performance. Fixed a bug where the player could not level up awareness in multiplayer, and fixed a bug where cargo drops would drop multiple cargo drops. Also wanted to talk about the replication objects, not actually just that, but obviously containers. You can't keep stuff in world containers right now until they fixed a load of stuff for server performance issues. So you can only keep loot on your character, you can only keep loot in a vehicle, and you can only keep loot in chests. That is the only place you can keep loot, in them 3 places: yourself, a vehicle, and the chest that you create. Anything else, you will not be able to put it in there, and if it does work, then obviously you end up losing it. But that is literally Friday's update, guys, in a nutshell. Really do appreciate you guys hanging out. Please, let's get a dialogue going, because the devs do watch these videos and they do read the comments sometimes down below, and they're very, very helpful. We've been giving the devs some updates and some of the bugs and that. We've actually got our own chat now that a lot of us go into, and we can post these. There's certain things they didn't even realize was happening within the game. Now, we're only doing our part to make the game better. So if there's anyone who's watching this, if they've got this far, who decides to say, oh no, this game's bad, the updates are really bad, etc., it's still early access. They're going to do updates, they're going to break stuff, they're going to fix stuff. That's just how it works, and you can't put everything in all at once. It needs to be done in sections, so obviously everything makes sense. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe for more content, etc. And that is basically this week's update. So thank you very much, stay safe, and I'll catch you next one, guys. Take care. And just before I go, guys, I almost forgot about this one, the M1887 shotgun, which takes the 12 gauge shells. This is a great weapon close range, and I mean really, really powerful close range. Too far away, it's not really that good, but you can double tap some of the Zeds, take a couple out at a time, and it's just great for close encounters and CQB, close quarter battles as well, all that good stuff. So I didn't want to forget that and leave that out of the video, but we had some more important issues to attend to, obviously. But yeah, we've got the shotgun in there, guys. Hopefully in this clip here you can see it. Obviously it's a bit dark because I had to do this on single player to get the gun so I can show you. So yeah, catch you in the next one, guys. Take care.